welcome to my my first motovlog. I'm in a unique situation. I'm in the military stationed in Japan, so I get to ride a motorcycle around this beautiful country. And I wanted to go ahead and start making some videos so I can kind of show everybody what it's like out here, as far as non-Japanese people to ride a motorcycle here. A lot of people that get stationed out here decide not to drive a vehicle because I think driving out here is scary, or whatever their personal reason might be. I know a lot of them don't, to save money, which is a good reason. To ride a Harley out here is definitely not an easy thing. I have a 2014 Harley Iron that I purchased in America, and I had shipped out here with my personal property, and to get it registered was not an easy task. And it wasn't a cheap one either. But for me, this is one of my few hobbies that I really like to do, and to spend some money on it was a choice of mine for it to be worth it. For everybody that might not be the case, but I've enjoyed it. Riding out here has been a blast. You get to split lanes when you want to. You don't have to, of course, and which is nice to get around the traffic sometimes, because sometimes the traffic can be pretty bad. This video is also kind of a test for the equipment that I'm using. I haven't used it yet, so hopefully this video comes out good, and then I can post my first motovlog, and I can also show what this equipment does. What I'm using is a GoPro Hero 4 Silver, and I have a Alleman, I think I'm saying that right, lavalier microphone. I'll go ahead and I'll add those in the description, the equipment that I'm using. This microphone is a very cheap one. However, I did a couple quick tests with it, both using it clipped onto my shirt, and I did a test with it in the helmet before I took it out here, just in the house, and it picked up my voice very, very clearly. So I'm hoping it does the same thing with the noise of the bike. We'll see, and then get a video out there. So my objective is to show some of my favorite places to ride out here, do a little bit of exploring as well, and show you guys the mountains, the city life. The area where I'm at is called Kanagawa Prefecture. I'm stationed at NAF Atsugi. I work between here and Yokosuka base, and maybe I'll also do a commute video when I ride the Harley out that way. I actually haven't ridden the Harley to Yokosuka in a while, because maybe about 3 months ago now I broke my hand pretty bad, and during my downtime where I haven't been able to ride, I've been kind of gathering my equipment and getting ready for doing these motovlogs, because I had time to think about it, and I want to go ahead and start recording some of my adventures riding out here. And broke my hand doing just a sporting accident. And it was just a kind of a dumb accident, playing baseball with my son, and it was just an unfortunate thing. It took me out of commission for a good bit. I just started being able to ride the motorcycle maybe a couple weeks ago or so. And I've never taken a right here. I'm kind of curious what's down this way. It's a good good time when I'm really not going anywhere. I'm not going to go too far today. This is kind of one of my test runs as well, for just being able to ride the motorcycle. But yeah, so I actually had 8 breaks on 3 of the bones on the I don't know how to describe it, on the top part of my hand, and not my fingers, the actual bones in the hand, the bigger ones. And it was quite painful. I'm right-handed, it was in my right hand, so having to do everything with the left hand was frustrating. So I'm just thankful to be able to use the hand again. I had to have surgery on it. They put a plate in it, and 3 pins. Surgery took about 4 hours. It was like time traveling. I didn't even realize I went out, and then I came back and I was like, so are we done yet? And they were like, yep, you're all done. And I was just super groggy, and it was kind of rough getting out of the hospital. I actually had to stay overnight because of pain, because the I don't know, where are we going now? The splint they put me in was too tight, cut off circulation in my hand. They didn't figure that out for about 24 hours, so I finally figured out when they gave me morphine, and the morphine finally just didn't do anything for it. And they're like, all right, we got to get a hold of your doctor. And as soon as they fixed the splint, I was out of the hospital within a couple hours. So after all, though, everything's turned out okay, and the hand is improving quite a bit. Physical therapy has hurt a good bit, and next month I'm gonna have to have the plate taken back out yet, because it limits movement in my wrist. It's kind of a longer plate than what they originally planned on. If I lift my hand too high by moving my wrist, then the plate actually hits up against a bone in my wrist, and it doesn't feel good at all. So I'll be back out of commission again for a little bit, hopefully not too long that time. That surgery should be much quicker, and then I can start making some more videos and riding again. So I don't know where I'm going right now. I'm just kind of exploring. I'm heading towards the mountains, kind of towards a town called Ebina, but I'm on the back roads. I've never been on this road before. I have an idea what road I'm on, but I've just never taken it this far in this direction. And not enough room to split lanes. I'm not really in a rush anyways. So I've been stationed out here for quite a while. This is, I don't know why I never thought to start making some videos of riding out here. I just never did. But I've been out here for a total of 7 years. My Japanese still isn't very good. And I think I just got a really bad memory, so it's made it difficult for me to learn a new language. I remember some words. Even when I try to remember some, it still takes me a while to remember them. So maybe I'll show you some of my struggles when I'm out here on my own trying to do something. It's a little difficult when you don't know how to speak the local language. Another thing I can do, if anybody wants to see a video of me riding to a specific area and it's not too far away. That would be pretty fun for me as well, to go out and to ride somewhere. So you could always shoot a comment and let me know a certain area or a certain place you wanted to see. Now if it's indoors and and if it's somewhere you gotta walk a ways, I'm not gonna walk around in my helmet, so you can forget that. But as far as just riding somewhere and getting it on video, it's something I can do. We're already past the season now for cherry blossoms, so you're not going to see that anytime soon. That's in the spring. And the season is pretty short. They don't stick around too long, and if the weather's bad, then they stick around even shorter because they just get blown right off the trees. If it rains really hard, it gets really windy, whatever the case might be. I really don't know where I'm going. I have a feeling I'm somewhere behind Ayase City Hall, but just never been around here before. So my bike, I've done quite a bit of work on it. A lot of guys who have Sportsters do. You're never happy with what you got. You always want to change something. You take a look down, you can see I've changed my speedometer holder. That was actually a lot of custom work to change that, and that was a lot of metal work to get it the risers to accept that speedometer. Alright, I know where I'm at now. Yeah, I was right. I was behind Ayase City Hall. It's a small town, which is technically where the base is at. It's not actually in Atsugi. So yeah, changing that speedometer to a 48 speedometer holder was a lot of work. You can see I've put LED turn signals on, so my turn signal is just flashing quick as shit. And I just kind of put those on while I was down, so I had a different LED turn signal on for a while. Eventually the quick flash went away and it started flashing normal. I don't know if it takes time for the bike to realize it has an LED signal on it and start working right or what, but we'll see. Hopefully it'll go away and start flashing normal again. I don't know if they'll hit me on a vehicle inspection for that or not. If they do, I don't know, I can always just throw regular bulbs in it for the sake of an inspection and take them back out afterwards. Vehicle inspections here are pretty strict, so, and Harleys are a little complicated now with the new computers on them. It doesn't make changing stuff out so simple and easy. But so yeah, it's got a Sportster 48 speedo holder on it. Now to make that possible, I also had to install the eyebrow for the headlight on, actually mounting it from the bottom of the mount on the forks rather than having it sit on the top of that mount on the forks like it originally was. That also took a little bit of metal work to get the brow to where it would actually fit on there and line up with the holes for the bolts. I found the front turn signal mounts in a Harley store that's not an official Harley store in Chigasaki, where they sell some used parts, and those were extremely cheap. They came with some turn signals attached to them for less than the price of what you would buy those mounts for new. And again, those took some metal work because they're not originally intended for an iron, they're intended for a 48 as well, I think. So to get those to fit onto the bike took some metal work too. I modified the mount itself, not the forks, to make them work. To do my mods, I try to not do modifications to the bigger parts on the bike, rather than I try to do modifications to the small parts that I'm adding onto it, so that I can go back to stock somewhat easily if I want. The bigger, more recent changes, I actually changed my fenders. I put a longer fender on the back rather than the short one that it comes with stock for the iron. I put one on that is like for the 1200 custom, and then I changed the front fender as well to match it for the color, because I have the sand denim Harley, and I put a black rear fender on it, partly because that lighting arrangement is easier to pass inspections with in Japan, and also partly because a buddy of mine rear-ended me and dented my rear fender. So to change that out, I couldn't find one that was sand denim, so that was used anyways. So I ordered a black one, and I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and get one that is for that different lighting arrangement, to where it has a dedicated brake light separate from the turn signals, because in Japan they require turn signals to be amber. This bike came stock in America with 2 back red lights, and that was the run, turn, brake, which isn't legal in Japan. The front fender I got, I don't remember what model or year of Sportster it was for, but it sat pretty high. I'm not even sure if it was for a Sportster. So it sat pretty high, and what I did is I drilled some holes a little bit higher up on the fender strut, where it bolts onto the bike, and that lowered it down a little bit to where it kind of looks a little better on the bike. Riding around back roads in Japan is just great with all the twisting roads. See, I also changed the speedometer on it and put the fuel level gauge in the tank. I put the smart security system on the bike. Right now I don't have the alarm activated on it. It's detached and disabled. But I also put a keyless switch on the bike. I'll show that later. I'll probably make a video as far as how to do it with the parts needed for it later. But it's really simple. Anybody can do it. So that way I can just walk up to the bike and flip that switch, and right away. Try to turn around and start heading back to the house. Let's see what's down here. Cool little tunnel underneath the Tomei. idea where I'm going. Other direction down this road, I would get to the Ebina pit stop on the Tomei, which has a lot of food to choose from and is pretty cool. Haven't been there yet, but planning on it. Might make a video going to there later. Pedestrians walking around this way on that road. I put forward pegs on the bike too. That's more comfortable for me. Squirt across here. Put a different seat on it. I can't remember the brand now. It's a 2-up seat. It actually helps me with my hand a lot, because that way it's got something that I can kind of push back against. It can, you know, rather than having just a flat seat with nothing behind me. That way I'm kind of sitting in the bike rather than holding myself onto the bike if I get on the gas. I don't have to put much strain on my hand that way. You can see I changed the turn signal buttons to the type that have a little extended button. Those I got from Harley. I just ordered them online. It's another one I plan on making a video on how to do. It's really easy to do. I kind of expected there to be like a spring and it'd be a pain in the butt, but there's no spring in there. It's really simple and easy. Anybody can do it. So put a different slip-on mufflers on it. I put some Cobra slip-ons. I really like their kind of deep sound, and they're straight through. So I also put a different air cleaner on it. I like the classic teardrop style, so I got one of those. That's the black wrinkle paint that matches the engine. Keep everything kind of blacked out. I like the blacked out look of the iron. That's why I got it instead of the 48, and instead of the custom. I like the peanut tank. It's a good sized tank, especially for in Japan. You can go a decent ways with this tank and have enough gas. I don't have to fill up off base. Put the mirrors flipped upside down so I can see. If they're flipped up, you can't see anything, you just see your shoulders. I guess that's partly just their mirrors that don't stick out real far, and the handlebars don't stick out real far either, so you just look at your shoulders, you can't see behind you. Well, I'm heading back towards where I came from now, on one of the main roads. I'm definitely going to do some rides out towards Mount Fuji. My favorite kind of local ride is I like to ride out to Naegase Dam, and we go through a lot of tunnels going out through that way. Some back roads out there that are just beautiful to ride on, really twisty. No traffic, especially during the week. Just barely make this light. For changing out my AC and putting the slip-ons, how I tuned it is I used the Power Vision. It's a little expensive, but I like that it's not on the bike. I can hook it up to it, stick it in my pocket, or whatever I want to do, stick it in a bag on the bike and ride around. It'll collect data and make a tune. I don't have the nicer kit. I can't remember what it's called now, but the one that has the wideband O2 sensors. So I had to do a lot of tunes with it to get it to where it runs pretty good now. If it made a performance improvement, probably. I didn't notice a huge one, honestly. It's not like it's gonna make night and day difference like if you're gonna bore it up, which I plan on doing someday, but just not in a rush to do that. Especially here in Japan, the bike has a lot of power for these small roads. I don't need any more. I don't even get up into 5th gear, rarely even on the highway, which I rarely take the highway anyways. All highways in Japan are toll roads. They're not free. I commute to Yokosuka. I also take back roads. I don't take the highway, just to save some money. So this is going to conclude my video. I hope you guys enjoyed riding around the local area here where I live. Like I said, I'm going to do some videos exploring out farther, going to some more popular busy places. You can see some lane splitting in Japan a little bit down some of the bigger, busier roads. I don't really do it much on the smaller roads. I'm just not that much in a rush. It's not worth the risk kind of deal. So look for some more videos, and I'll see you around.